welcome back to another reading. And if you guys are new, hi, my name is Astra. I'm a tarot reader and I do tarot readings here on my channel. Today I'm back with another reading on Faye and Yoko. A person requested a paid reading for these two of them. So thank you to the person that purchased this reading. So today I'm going to be checking the current energy of Faye and Yoko and see if there's any changes since last time I checked, okay? So first I'm going to be getting into Yoko's current energy towards Faye. So let's see. What is Yoko feeling towards Faye right now? What is Yoko's current energy towards Faye? What is Yoko's current energy towards Faye? Okay, guys, so when it comes to Yoko, I feel like she's really trying to be strict and think with her mind. You know, I feel like she is really trying to be strict and sort of think with her mind and, you know, not think with her emotions, okay? But I feel like she has been feeling really drowned, you know, because I feel like she's feeling pulled between thinking between her mind of, you know, trying to control her emotions and at the same time, you know, just surrendering to what she's actually feeling, okay? So I feel like she has been sort of going back and forward. I feel like she's really trying to be, you know, thinking with her mind and thinking more practically, okay? But I feel like she really finds it hard, you know, to balance those emotions that she's feeling regarding Faye, okay? I feel like, you know, she does feel like they both are distant. You know, she feels like, you know, she does feel like they both are distant. You know, she does feel like, you know, what she experienced with Faye is something that it's almost like a dream, or it's almost like something that was a really, really long time ago. It's like it almost feels like a distant memory. Like you see her, like she's almost looking at something that's like really far away from her, okay? And so I feel like she really wants to move forward. She wants to break free. You know, she doesn't like that she feels unbalanced with her emotions, okay? She's feeling hanged up. She's trying to find a balance between herself. So she does want to move forward and she wants to break free. But, you know, I feel like she cannot forget, you know, the emotions and, you know, the bond that she experienced with Faye, okay? So I feel like, you guys, she is trying to seem strict. She's trying to seem defensive. She maybe is seeming a bit cold, but I feel like it's all just something that she's trying to show on the outside, okay? Like, I feel like it's something that she's sort of doing to sort of make herself believe that she feels that way, but I feel like in the inside she does feel otherwise, okay? She still cares about Faye. She still does not hate Faye. You know, there's no hate in her emotions at all, but I feel like with the Queen of Swords especially, she's trying to seem cold about it. She's trying to seem emotionless about it, but she is feeling a lot and she's trying to make it seem that way, okay? Like I said, I feel like she's sort of being pulled side to side between her emotions actually and what she feels inside of her heart and between her mind, because inside of herself, you know, she still has a soft spot for Faye and all that, but her mind tells her that, okay, you need to move forward, you need to do all of that, okay? So she is trying to create, you know, that distance between herself, and maybe she could say things or do things, you know, to sort of seem that, you know, she has moved on, or, you know, that she is blocking, you know, herself away from the past. But deep inside, she actually does wish for things to be back the way that they used to be, okay? So yeah, you guys, okay? Let me see any more information. What else does Yoko feel towards Faye? What else does Yoko feel towards Faye? What else does Yoko feel towards Faye? Again with the Seven of Wands. also want to mention that Yoko does keep an eye on Faye, okay? I'm picking over here that she does keep an eye on Faye. She is watching Faye from afar, and she sort of does compare between their situations, I feel, okay? But I feel like definitely she's watching Faye, but I don't think that she's making it, you know, that she is watching Faye. But so I feel like she's watching from afar. She's definitely keeping her eye on Faye here with the Queen of Wands, okay? So she's definitely like watching, but you know, in her own distance, okay? She definitely does still care about Faye, okay? Like I mentioned, you guys, she still does care, but you know, she's trying to control her emotions, okay? All right. And I feel like probably she is trying, or she feels like it's like for the best that if she showed the way that she is, or she's showing that maybe she's sort of blocking out her emotions, or that she's moved on, it might be best for their both career. Like she does feel like, okay, maybe it will be best for my career if, you know, people see that we are moved on, or all of that. And maybe the same, she feels like if Faye is maybe able to move forward in her individual work, if people, you know, feel are able to, you know, separate the two of us, okay? So that can be a thinking that she has, you guys. Like I just heard that in my head, that if people like see that we are moved on, or we are doing our own different things, it can be easier for them to support us individually, okay? So I feel like she's taking a lot on her shoulders and doing a lot of things, you know, and she deep inside does think for her individuality and Faye as well, and she does wish the best for Faye, okay? And the person that just requested this reading also asked me, like, do they still want to work together? I feel like here, yes. You know, if Yoko has a chance to work with Faye, you know, compared to any other person, I do feel like she would rather work with Faye. And if there's a good opportunity now, she would want to work with Faye, but she feels like right now it's not possible, okay? That's why, like, when it comes to her expectations, when it comes to things that she's hoping for, when it comes to her emotions, I do feel like that Yoko is really resting things. Like, she's sort of burying down her emotions, and I feel like she's sort of, you know, is trying to bury herself with work, with things that she does have going on. She's trying to bury all of that, okay? But deep inside, she does manifest things. She does manifest, you know, maybe things getting better and all of that, okay? But she definitely is sort of defensive, you know, and, you know, her trying to sort of bury her emotions and all that is sort of getting like a different side of her that is not actually what she's feeling, okay? She's like trying to forget, you know, her emotions, but you know, she's still feeling them. But she does, by the way, admire Faye a lot. You know, when she does look at Faye and, you know, stalk her, she does admire Faye and how the way that she's dealing with things as well. I feel like she also compares herself in a way, and she's like, I wish that I could be as composed as Faye is. I could, you know, she does see Faye here as the Empress. She does see her as a queen, as someone that is composed, that has her throne, and, you know, is not controlled by anyone. And she does, you know, sort of envy Faye like that, but in like a good way. Like, it's not like she's jealous, but, you know, she does wish that she could be in a similar situation or like her, okay? But she does feel like it's not something that she can, you know, handle right now, okay? Or do the same, okay? So, you guys, basically, I don't feel like Yoko does have anything bad regarding Faye, okay? Like, maybe in the past there was a little bit of conflict where she did feel a bit misunderstood by Faye or anything like that. But, you know, even in my last reading, I didn't pick that they both hated each other, or, you know, that Faye left because they both had a problem. It was something that Faye was dealing with for a while, and it led her to, you know, leave and all that, okay? But I feel like when it comes to the two of them, it was not something that they both have planned. It's not something that they both have expected at all, okay? Now let's get into Faye that we have seen Yoko. Let's see. What is Faye's current energy towards Yoko? What does Faye feel towards Yoko right now? What is Faye's current energy towards Yoko right now? Okay, so you guys, Faye is also, in a similar situation. I feel like she's holding back a lot. There's a lot that Faye does want to say to Yoko. There is a lot that she does want to communicate with Yoko here. Okay, I feel like Faye really wishes that, they both can be more connected. I feel like probably small contact has happened between the two of them, but I don't feel like they both are connected on a very deeper level. There has been probably some small moments where they did connect or they did have small contact, but on a deeper level, I'm not seeing that. Why? Because I'm seeing that Faye, she does want more contact and she does want to make a move towards Yoko. She does want to help Yoko in a way. You see that Faye does want to make a move forward. Faye does want to make a change to the certain situation between her and Yoko. I feel like she does really miss their bond. She misses, the things that they did together. And I feel like she wants to make a move. It was up to her. She would make contact more close. She would, change things, okay? But I feel like there's a sense of her feeling that if I did this move, would Yoko, accept it? Faye's, thinking that, okay, if I did this move, would Yoko agree to it? Would she want me to help her? Does she want me to even be involved? Because I feel like if she was sure that Yoko would take her help, she would help Yoko. I feel like there's a sense of her that she does want to help Yoko. She does want to be there for her. She does want to help her, with things that she's dealing with, okay? But she feels like, okay, maybe I should keep that to myself. Maybe, I should just, rest that and, not take a move on that, okay? Because she's not sure how Yoko is going to feel about that if she did take a move and try to help her, okay? So yeah, I feel like, Faye, for the most part, she is trying to focus on her career. She's trying to focus on her independence. But she still is thinking about Yoko. So in a way, Faye does really seem like to want a new beginning, okay? And she does want to offer Yoko her help, but she doesn't know if Yoko's sort of gonna accept it, okay? And I also want to mention that Faye is really trying to put a lot of effort into keeping her energy up, okay? So, she probably does seem composed, or, she does seem like she's doing well independently and all of that, but I feel like she's also trying to put an effort of seeming that she's up and seeming that she's okay, but I feel like whatever happened, it wasn't something that was easy. I'm also hearing in my head that it's not easy what happened. It's not that easy to recover. So no matter, how they might seem okay on the outside or, all of that, I do feel like whatever happened, to both of them, it wasn't easy. So they both are equally as her. They both are equally as going through as a law, okay? Even though one of them might seem better than the other or doing more well, I feel like they both are trying to seem strong, okay? Let's see, anything else that Faye is feeling? Anything else that Faye is feeling towards Yoko? Anything else? Yeah, I was telling you guys that Faye has a big feeling of new beginnings, okay? So here with the Fool and with the Death both, she really wants a new beginning with Yoko. She is manifesting some change, okay? She doesn't like how things are right now. She doesn't like the situation that Yoko is right now. And so she does have a lot of energy of change. She does want something to change, okay? But like I said, she does feel hopeless. If it was up to her, she would break through. She would take a lot of actions. She would fight whoever it is, okay? Even though Faye, does have a strong, personality and all of that, I do feel like she also does have the inferior energy, where I mentioned in one of my readings that, Faye does have the inferior energy and the masculine energy between the two of them. So at the same time, she does feel protective for Yoko, and so I feel like a lot of times she does think about her. She feels like that, okay, I walked away, but what about her? What about the challenges that she could probably face? Okay? And so I feel like that Faye does think about Yoko a lot, okay? And so she would want a new beginning, okay? So there can be a chance, you guys, if you know that Faye can reach out in the future or do a certain move. Because I feel like that, you know, if she does feel that Yoko wants her help or Yoko would accept her help, I feel like she would be happy to be there for her or stand by her side. But right now, she's not sure if Yoko is going to accept that help. But she would want to be there for her. Alright. Before I get into the oracles, the person that just requested this reading did ask me to check if Yoko does have a future with 9-star, if, you know, she's gonna leave or she's not. So let's see. What does Yoko want to do in the future regarding 9-star? What does Yoko want to do in the future regarding 9-star? Get from another deck over here. What is Yoko gonna do in the future regarding 9-star? Is she gonna walk away or is she gonna stay? Okay, guys, so when it comes to Yoko and 9-stars, I do feel like she's emotionally drained. There's a lot of burden on her. You know, she's heartbroken and, you know, she doesn't feel fully happy where she's at. You know, she feels like it's like such a big burden. She feels like there is like a lot of, you know, eyes on her, a lot of maybe people, you know, just like watching her and all of that. So she does feel like such a big burden on her back now. And she doesn't really feel fully fulfilled where she is at right now, okay? There's like a sense of her feeling burned out and needing like emotional clarity, okay? She's definitely thinking about starting something new, maybe whether it's like a project or like a new beginning in 9-star or out of 9-star, okay? And so she doesn't want to reclaim her power. She does want to feel also that she's doing well in her career, okay? You know, she's manifesting things that are good for herself as well, okay? So she does want a shift to happen in her career life as well, okay? But when it comes to this management, I do feel like, you know, that she does have maybe either emotional or financial ties, okay? Maybe she does connect emotionally with this management, that maybe she did make a lot of memories, or, you know, with Faye, she did make a lot of memories, or it can just like be financial or so something that is tying her up, okay? There's something that is sort of tying her up. And so there is like this need of her, like that I need to stay for now at least, and to keep things at least balanced or structured, and maybe then I can make a move. But right now it's not the time for me to do anything or to move forward, okay? I feel like there's like this something that she's like, I need to do that right now. I need to keep things peaceful for now, and then maybe later I can make a move. So she does have a sense of self-awareness. It's not that she is, but she feels like I need to make things peaceful now. I need for things to be peaceful right now, for things to be balanced. I don't want problems right now, and then maybe later I can make a move, okay? Or maybe there would be an opportunity for me to leave by myself, or maybe they would want me to leave, okay? But definitely, you know, she does feel unsupported, you know, where she's at. She feels isolated. She feels like there is like people that maybe do not genuinely care for her. And so she's like emotionally detached, okay? But with the King of Swords, she's definitely observing but not acting impulsively. So like I said, she's sort of thinking with her mind right now, okay? But I do feel like there is a good possibility of her seriously considering walk away, but she's not rushing right now, okay? I feel like she's sort of like planning and waiting right now, and seeing the risks that are possible and preparing for like a shift, okay? And waiting when the moment is right, okay? But yeah, okay? Before I get the oracles, one last thing I'm gonna check is any possibility for the future of Faye and Yoko. Let's see. Any potential future Any potential future for Faye and Yoko? Any potential future for Faye and Yoko? Anything possible for Faye and Yoko? Okay, let's see. Anything else for Faye and Yoko? Anything possible for Faye and Yoko in the future? Yeah. I guess I feel like for now things are going to be a little bit quiet between the two of them. I feel like one of them is really overthinking and going through a lot, and so they both sort of want to take a moment to breathe, like things for them to be a little bit quiet, for them to sort of see their own past, see where things are headed, and they are definitely both dealing with a lot. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of sense of loss, there's a lot of sense of, you know, not feeling sure what's happening or what just happened. You know, like I said, I feel like it's like a lot of something that is gonna take a while to process, okay? Like no matter what they might seem on the outside, I feel like whatever just happened was not something that was easy, okay? I do feel like they probably saw that they are maybe gonna work with each other for a really long time, and so something, you know, out of a sudden happened. They both did not expect it. And so they're going to take a moment to breathe. They're going to take a moment to think, to plan. Both Faye and Yoko are going to do that. And then I feel like later they maybe can start of thinking that maybe they can reconnect and help each other and be there for each other, okay? But for now, I do feel like they want to think, you know, breathe, take a rest, reflect on things individually. And then I do feel like there can be a chance of them reconnecting. And I feel like if they reconnect with you guys, I do feel like Faye can be there trying to help Yoko, or trying to be there for Yoko, you know, maybe regarding certain steps in her career, or trying to help her regarding something, okay? But I feel like for now, at least for a while, they both are gonna, you know, focus on their own things and, you know, reflect. And I feel like this reflection time will be good for them, okay? Last thing, I'm going to get some hidden truth cards for both Faye and Yoko. First, I'm going to check for Yoko. What is Yoko's hidden truth regarding Faye? I'm so attached to you and I know I crossed the line with you. Okay, one more regarding Yoko towards Faye. One more regards Faye. I wish I could take back my words. Okay. I'm going to get for Faye and then I'm going to explain both. Anything more with Faye towards Yoko? I wonder if you're happy without me. Finding out the truth crushed me. And one more for Faye towards Yoko. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. Okay, so you guys, these sort of reflect similar what I have told you guys in this reading, okay? So for Yoko, you know, she does feel that she is trying a lot to, you know, move forward, you know, but she does feel like she still cares about Faye, you know, and so she does feel like that she does have this attachment, and it's not that easy to let go of that attachment, okay? And she does feel like there is something that maybe she crossed the line with, maybe when, like I said, I feel like maybe there could have been a misunderstanding, or maybe a conversation between the two of them where Yoko did feel like she was misunderstood. I did mention that someplace in this reading. And so I feel like here with I know I crossed the line with you and I wish I could take back my words, Yoko probably feels that maybe she did say something that was hurtful towards Faye, and she feels like maybe I crossed the line. I should have not said that, okay? Alright, and then with Faye, I feel like she's saying that I wonder if you're happy without me. She does wonder how, if Yoko's really actually, you know, not happy without her and all of that. So she does wonder if, you know, Yoko is okay with what's happening. Like, I wonder if you're actually happy with the situation that you are in. You know, do you want me to interfere, or do you not want me? Are you happy with the place that you are, or do you want me to, you know, be there for you, okay? And finding out the truth crushed me. So there is something that maybe Faye saw about Yoko, or maybe something that Yoko said that she found out or she heard, and it sort of crushed her hearing Yoko say that, or maybe, you know, something that came out that sort of Yoko was upset that it, you know, it's something that Yoko did, I feel, or something that she heard, okay? And you don't know how hard it was to let you go. Yeah, remember what I was saying this whole reading, that they both feel like whatever happened, it was not easy. Either Faye does seem great right now, or she does seem well, or she seems independent. She feels like you don't know how hard it was, you know, to let go of all of that, okay? Maybe some people would think that Faye walked away because she wanted to, but it was because of certain circumstances, because of certain things that were happening. And I explained that in my first reading, which I will link in the corner. I explained more of like the situation that happened, okay? And so Faye does feel like it was hard. Like maybe Yoko does feel that Faye is doing well right now, or Faye is happy, but Faye feels like probably Yoko does not know that she also is going through a hard time, and you know, it was hard, the whole process. Like it wasn't easy for her at all, more than Yoko, as it was hard for Yoko. Like she feels like they both are going through it, okay? So she feels like that Yoko probably doesn't know that it was hard for her as well, okay? But yeah, you guys, that's what I got with these Hidden Truth cards. I hope you guys liked this reading. And I'm sorry it was a bit deep at some parts, but I hope you guys enjoyed and you guys got clarity. And thank you guys so much. And I would like to hear your guys' opinions in the comments. And if you guys like this reading, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hope to see you guys next time. Bye!